Well, folks, I've been working out in the garden trying to get the pumpkins and all ready and picked. It's ready. And looky there, folks. We got 2 good pumpkins that's ready to go. I had to pick them just a little bit early. The stems wasn't quite brown on them, but they'll cure out. But the birds was pecking on them. I mean terribly, and we had to get them out of there. And then I got the rest of my tomatoes that was ready picked. Look at there, I got a handful of strawberries. And we're trying to get all these in. That's got a little bad place on it, but I'll cut that out when I get ready to eat that. But I got to eat it pretty quick. But that was yesterday's harvest, and pretty good size tomatoes for October, I thought. Pretty good. Well, looky going there, folks. We got a front coming in from the west, and what shows up to intensify the storm, to make their claim that the CC is real. Now I want you to look across here, folks. Look at all them streaks. They was busy all night. I've been hoping these would stick around so that you could see this, but look at that. The front's coming, and they've showed up to do the spraying to intensify whatever's coming. And then they want to claim that this extreme weather is the whole problem. Listen to my dog whining. He wants me to come let him off the porch. He does all this dramatic stuff. That's Benny. But yeah, they want people to think that all these storms are intensifying because of the CC, when it's them, the government, or whoever it is that's behind all of this spraying. And they've been busy all night. It's just got, the sun's come up just enough so you can see this. But we all know that clouds do not form in a horizontal pattern across the sky. And there's one going right over the trees there. He's probably in behind that other stuff where they've sprayed all night. But the wind's been getting up since yesterday. We knew the front was coming, and then this morning we get up and we got all this spraying going on. So you see, folks, this is kind of like what happened in Texas when they flooded that place down there along the river, and all them children was killed. They're using a front that's coming in, and then they're going to come in before it and spray to intensify it. And then they'll claim that it's just the CC, you know, the Charlie Lima Indigo Mike Alpha Tango Echo, and then you add the word change to it. And they'll claim that the weather has just gotten terribly bad because of the CC. When all intents purposes, they're creating the CC to fit their narrative so they can continue to do the green scam. And there you go. There's a prime example. Front's coming and they're spraying to intensify it. Folks, have you ever read the comments? Not just watch the video, but read the comments. A lot of interesting things surface on the comments. A lot of people asking questions and other people answering very educationally, if that's a correct term, knowing what they're talking about. We had a reply on the Mayday for food and private bridges being installed video, which aired a couple of nights ago. And one viewer, let's see, at Terry Henderson 424, he replied and said, this year, 2025, the feds cut $500 million in emergency food assistance that supplied eggs, dairy, and meat across all 50 states. Between May 25 and September 25, North Carolina alone lost 97 food shipments and a sum of about 3 million pounds in their emergency food program from the feds. There will be no SNAP benefits beginning November 1, and if Project 25 is actually being implemented As stated, there may not be much for any kind of snap and no wick following the government shutdown. Well, that is exactly correct. And Nomad Solos replied and said in 2024, FEMA put in, and he called it, in quotes, appearance. Built 2 camps, and he's talking about in western North Carolina, built 2 camps for FEMA people to stay in. Those were not for victims. All the FEMA people did was put in an appearance. Not one got help, and no one got food. It has been the churches and the volunteer groups doing the heavy lifting all along. You don't want to try to make this look political. It is so much more than that. Our North Carolina legislature approved billions, but where has the money been spent? So far, road work and cleanup of the rivers has been it. No concern has been shown to the victims of this storm by either political party. So true. JS-TR700 replied as well. The problem is further complemented by some people were helped by FEMA. Some were not. So some praise FEMA and will get fighting mad at you if you dare to speak against them, and then the ones ignored and left to die have nothing good to say about them. Some it was based on politics and whether you were Republican or Democrat, causing further division. Remember, and here it is, Jesus warned, a house divided against itself cannot stand. There is an evil spirit in this country, I agree 100% here, that it is busy dividing us while both parties don't care if people starve to death. America has been suffering from a spiritual problem for decades. Some do not want Jesus, and some do, and the division is getting deeper. It has become good versus evil. That is 100% correct. Love your enemies and do good to those that despitefully use you and do evil against you. Jesus told us they did the same to him. Those of us that know and love Jesus, just do the will of the Father, and you belong to him. That is 100% correct. All 3 of these replies to the comment is correct. And the one I like the most is this. Honestly, this came from Thy Staff 742. Honestly, we wouldn't need handouts from the government if they weren't taking so much from us in taxes. Just think what we could do if they weren't taking 38% of your income you labor for. Ain't that the truth? Thy Staff, you hit the nail right on the head right there. They take from us, and then who knows where it goes. I think a lot of it funnels right back around, and a lot of people's got so-called jobs that never show up, getting a big old 6-figure paycheck for it. A lot of it's going into funneled back around to campaign donors, and a lot of it's going back into political pockets, so to speak. But I wanted to share that with you. These are some stuff. You ought to read the comments. When you watch the video, you're interested in it, you should read the comments. There's a lot of truth behind the scenes that people take time to let people know what's truly going on. And it's a blessing just to read what these supporters here on Deep River Farm, highly educated and know what they're saying here, and they're spot on. Look at there, folks, there he goes. This one is running northeast to southwest, throwing that trail out. Boy, that's way up in the air. Trying to intensify what's coming to make everybody think that green scam is an actual thing. Boy, they've been busy all night. See that? Cut across there. Still got people that don't believe it though. But you'd think they'd be educated enough to figure out that a cloud don't form in a straight line. There's two of the culprits right there. See them just above that horizontal cloud? They've been spraying. They just cut it off. Now, are they in the correct separation for instrument flight rules from the FAA? Are they 2 mile separation? Interesting, ain't it? You see, folks, ain't none of that normal. For you folks that's still doubting Thomases, have you ever seen a cloud make an X in the sky and run horizontal patterns just like this? And then you catch the two planes that are guilty. Heading right on out of there. Well, folks, later on that night, it came up a storm. Let me tell you what, it came across, and the radar looked like it was a squall line. That storm come across the North Carolina mountains, and by the time it got down to us, over where it leveled off and got down to about 1,000 feet above sea level, the winds was blowing like you ain't never seen except in a hurricane. I'm talking 50, 60 mile an hour straight line winds, thunder, lightning, and rain. So all that spraying they did nothing but intensify what was coming. Now, the question would have been, what would that have been had they not done the spraying? Would it have been as strong? Don't know. But it was kind of convenient for them to do the spraying, knowing the front was coming just about 12 hours before it arrived. Somewhere about there. Yet, they claim that stuff they spray in the air only stays up there just about 15 or 20 minutes. Now, they did all that spraying you saw late at night, between 4 and 6 a.m. I could see it with the moonlight. What little there was, I could still see it. And when it got daylight, I was just hoping there would be enough left so I could show it, because they done it all under the cover of darkness and then just a little bit after the crack of day. Folks, they say that stuff is very expensive to do, yet it has a little effect. Why would they go to that extent, spending that much money for just a small effect that they claim it has? Something just don't add up. It's kind of like that misinformation we got back in 2020 that that thing they popped in us. You still can't say that, by the way. They give you a strike. So, folks, you got to be careful what you hear and listen to. You got to do your own research, because I'm finding that my tomatoes, once I pull them, they have no shelf life. I'm talking about they start going downhill in 24 hours. If they're ripe, they do not last. They start getting, I don't know if it's thin skin or what's happening, but if you don't, and I don't eat the peelings because of all the spraying, I peel everything, including my apples, because I don't trust on what could be on the apples or the grapes. Wash them. Wash everything of produce you get, folks. Read your labels and just beware. Well, tomorrow night, folks, is going to be week number 6, Party in a Pan, and we're going to be having our featured video is Kris Swiatocho Ministries. We're right now in the process of getting the bus loaded, all the food. Central Global is getting a trailer loaded with food. And there's a lot of viewers saying they're having trouble ordering on Amazon. Well, folks, let me tell you something. If you're still having trouble, you know they had a big web crash a couple of days ago. There's still problems. If you're still having problems, you can send the money directly to Central Global Methodist Church. They have an online giving that you can do. The Midway Wesleyan Church also has an online giving as well. And the Bethel Church has the same thing. Just make sure you mark your donation on your online giving for hurricane relief. And that way they'll know that it's for Western North Carolina. Well, folks, thanks a lot. We're going to get back to loading all the food up that's come in from some of the church Koalition that's part of the 21 churches of Operation Mountain Relief. And we will see you tomorrow night on tomorrow night's 8 p.m. prime time video. Thanks for watching.